breaking news out of Brazil, where police say they foiled a bomb plot targeting Lady Gaga's concert on Copacabana Beach. More than 2 million people came to see the free concert on Saturday. Police say they have arrested 2 people in connection with the alleged bomb plot, which they say involved a group that promoted hate speech against the LGBTQ plus community, among others, and had planned to detonate homemade explosive devices at the event. The arrests happened before the concert began, and police said nothing about the alleged plot at the time in an effort to, quote, avoid panic and the distortion of information. A spokesperson for Lady Gaga issued a statement saying, quote, "We learned about this alleged threat via media reports this morning. Prior to and during the show, there were no known safety concerns nor any communication from the police or authorities to Lady Gaga regarding any potential risks." CNN senior national security analyst Juliette Kayyem is joining me right now. Juliette, I mean, this is pretty extraordinary, and what a huge concert. Thank goodness, danger was averted. But what do you make of how authorities handled this?
It's weird, and so I'll just tell you what I know now and then some discrepancies. So Lady Gaga has a massive concert this weekend, 3, in fact, at the Copacabana Beach in Brazil. Free, 2 million people show up. I mean, you can't secure an area like that, right? I mean, it is a massive beach. Those people who know Brazil know what a party this was. Then the police arrest 2 people, and the shocking thing in the story for me is they don't alert her or her team. I don't want to say that it wasn't a real bomb threat. It's just that's a massive breakdown. She would be responsible for going forward. She obviously was the subject of the attacks, given her support for LGBTQ rights. And if the motive is correct, and that's her responsibility to determine whether she would want to put her fans at risk. So that piece of this is very disconcerting.
Okay, so you say it was that communication was a breakdown. I mean, so clearly you're already underscoring that's unusual that authorities would learn of this threat, not tell the star or the concert organizers about it. But we heard their explanation. They didn't want to, they wanted to avoid panic, and that's why they didn't share it. So because it's a big free event, because you already have people who were coming, assembling, I mean, is that kind of a good explanation? You want to avoid panic, so you're not going to share it with them because we've got it under control? Because that's what it sounds like the authorities are saying.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what they're saying. Just from the early reporting, they say they're part of a group. So that makes me think, like, are we sure that it's just the 2 of them, right? The 2 that they arrested. But the second thing that I think is more important is, did they increase security in light of the arrest? That we haven't seen yet. We're not reporting on yet. So I would want to see, sort of cause and effect to sort of, make sure that their explanation is correct. Or if they just decided, you know what, we don't want to tell the talent because we feel that confident. I just have to say that's just it is unheard of. I do a lot of mega event planning and sports and entertainment. The idea that you would not tell the person or the team of the threat is just it's not part of our protocol, because they're the ones that are going to be responsible in the end.
And right, that artist might say, wait a minute, I don't even want to do this anymore. I mean, we saw that in the case of Taylor Swift, right? When it was in Vienna, and so they were informed, and then they just called off the whole thing. It was very inconvenient and horrible for a lot of the fans who traveled a long way, spent a lot of money, but it was canceled. So in this kind of situation, free concert, Copacabana Beach, huge, 2 million people. I mean, is it the area, that jurisdiction, that takes care of security as a whole, or would it be Lady Gaga and her own personal security, or hiring of some kind of security groups who would work with the city to say, this is what we're going to do to secure the area, period, anyway, just because we're attracting 2 million people.
Right.
And then when something like this happens, they too would be engaged in, how to get to the bottom of things when things go wrong?
Yeah, well, No, I mean, the way it would normally work, and I suspect this to be true just because it'd be impossible for private security to even remotely manage a 2 million person concert. I actually saw pictures of it. Of the one last night, and like my mind
We're looking
was
at
like,
some now. Yeah, what?
yeah, security
Crazy.
overload. I was like, oh my God. But I have to say, the Lady Gaga and any what we would call executive protection would be solely focused on her and her team and the concert team and the equipment going from place A to B. This is part of a big concert tour for her across South America. So, they probably have a full-time staff working it. Then you return to both the local and, of course, the state and federal in Brazil. They're called different entities to secure a place like this. They did a great job the first 2 nights, and they may have done a very good job on the third night, the night where the threat was, or they did do a good job. There was no incident. It's just that gap in communication that is just it's something that if one were Lady Gaga's team, you would definitely want to know where the breakdown was, and they sounded a little bit annoyed.
So 2 people arrested in affiliation with some sort of group. Do you know anything about this group or those who are suspected?
No, Brazil has a very interesting, dynamic. We talk about it politically as well, but also the social divisions that exist here are often reflected there. It's a highly devout country, but also a highly progressive country. It's got those divisions. Lady Gaga represents for both Americans and the world as a support and an understanding of and amplifying, in fact, the LGBTQ community, and she should be applauded for that. But obviously, lots of groups throughout the world organize against that. And I don't know the population of her concerts, but one has to assume that it is a concert that is very welcoming to all. And presumably this group wanted to target her supporters and her fans who would represent a community that they didn't like.
All right, Juliette, Kayyem, great to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, and now to